Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending upon where you are in the world, and welcome to today's webinar, Part 4 of the Secrets to Supply Chain Success webinar series. Today's event is entitled Supply Chain Success, MCR Safety's Transportation's Transformation, hosted by SAP Insider and sponsored by iTelligence and Cisco. I'm Steve Paul, and I'm your moderator today. We have just a few announcements before we begin. This webinar is designed to be interactive between you and our presenters, and later in the program we'll ask for your feedback. You can participate in our Q&A session by asking questions about the information presented in this webinar at any time. Just type your question into the text box located at the bottom left of the console and then click the Submit Question button. We'll answer as many questions as time permits after the presentation. Slides will advance automatically throughout the event, and you can also download a PDF copy of the presentation by clicking on the Download Slide link in the resource box in the bottom left of the console. At this time, we recommend you disable your pop-up blockers. If you're experiencing any technical problems, please visit our webinar help guide by clicking on the Help icon below the media player on the bottom left of the console. If slides are not advancing, please press the F5 key on your keyboard to refresh your console. And now on to the presentation, Supply Chain Success, MCR Safety's Transportation Transformation. Discussing today's topic will be Stanford Wynn, Transportation Management Solution Architect with iTelligence, Joseph Cabrera, Partner with ERP Integrated Solutions, and Tim Thomas, Vice President of Information Systems and Global Logistics at MCR Safety. First, we'll hear from Stan.
Thank you, Steve, and thank you, everybody, for joining us today for Part 4 of our Supply Chain Optimization series. Our focus today will be around transportation, specifically ShipERP, which is a transportation management software solution. The agenda for today, we'll start with the iTelligence overview. Then we'll jump into an overview of ERP Integrated Solutions as one of our sponsors, as well as the company behind ShipERP. And then we'll jump into a case study of MCR Safety and talk about how they perform their software selection process, as well as how they deploy the solution. Lastly, we'll go into a Q&A session. So iTelligence is the largest global SAP value-added reseller. In addition to reselling SAP products, we also provide implementation services, hosting, as well as application maintenance support. We have over 6,000 customers deployed worldwide. There are roughly 700 employees, iTelligence employees in the United States, based out of our Cincinnati, Ohio corporate headquarters. And we have roughly 3,000 employees worldwide. In combination with our entity data, our parent company, SAP Practice, there are over 8,500 SAP professionals worldwide. We're in over 23 countries and 5 regions with 10 data centers across the world supporting our hosted customers. We were acquired in 2007 by our current parent company, NTT Data. So NTT Data is ranked 6th in the world as an IT services and systems integrator. There are roughly 75,700 professionals across the world, and our services span applications, infrastructure, cloud, and industry solutions. As part of our 4-series supply chain optimization webinar, we've gone through the various processes of supply chain. We've gone through planning execution by showing you the various solutions available through GIB. We've gone through import and export compliance with the SAP GTS solution, Global Trade Services. And we've also gone through our warehousing, storage, and movement solutions with WM Solutions, as well as our iTelligence proprietary product, ICRF Solutions. The focus today is around transportation and shipping and receiving, leveraging the ShipERP and SAP transportation management product. The goal of this webinar is to give you some exposure into how we take the complex supply chain processes and make it easy. We connect you with your suppliers and your customers to create an end-to-end, transparent, optimized, and streamlined supply chain process. Our Intelligent Supply Chain Innovation Group comprises of over 50 years of combined supply chain experience and different supply chain modules, including global trade services, extended warehouse management, transportation management, ShipERP, as well as a deep breadth of knowledge in the core ERP SAP Business Suite. We have a long track record of proven success and experience, for example, with MCR Safety, as well as many customers across the globe. One unique aspect of Itelligence is that we create our own intellectual property packaged turnkey solutions, such as Truck It, Plan It, and Tender It, in which we leverage SAP Transportation Management and create industry-specific or functionality-specific packages to ensure rapid return on investment and rapid deployment. Itelligence is a one-stop shop for SAP. We only leverage SAP technologies and deploys world-class technologies to our customers around the globe. Now moving on to transportation, we have transportation in various modes of transport, including trucking, ocean, railway, as well as parcel. Now depending on our customers' requirements, we leverage both SAP Transportation Management as well as ShipERP to fit our customers' requirements and create supply chain solutions for them. We leverage these solutions to manage the end-to-end transportation process, including freight planning and route optimization, to your carrier selection and carrier collaboration, to your execution with track and trace of shipments, all the way down to your charge management. The focus of this presentation will be around ShipERP. MCR chose ShipERP based on their specific business requirements. At this point, I'll hand over the presentation to Joe Cabrera to tell you a little bit more about ERP integrated solutions as well as the ShipERP product.
Thank you, Stan, for the overview on Itelligence, Transportation Management, and ShipERP. My name is Joseph Cabrera, and I am a partner with ERP Integrated Solutions, also known as ERPIS. ERPIS was founded in 2007, and we are headquartered in Long Beach, California. We are the recognized leader in native multi-carrier shipping integration for SAP solutions. Today, we're going to discuss our flagship product called ShipERP. We are a software solutions partner with SAP, and we are 100% focused on transportation and logistics for SAP. ERPIS is globally supporting customers with shipping integration and compliancy needs today. As well as you will find ShipERP running in thousands of warehouses in multiple countries and on multiple continents, and most likely processing millions of shipments per month through ShipERP. Enabling an optimal supply chain for inbound and outbound shipping is a complex task for any organization. Movements of goods from one place to another can be extremely complex. You have more business routing requirements than you can most likely deal with, and then you have to adhere to, as well as there's a need for visibility throughout the process. To achieve this, companies running SAP need to have a platform that can enable them to work with suppliers and manufacturers so they can get their products and goods to their customers in a timely manner. To achieve proper execution within the supply chain, organizations need integrated functionality in various areas within the business. For example, in areas of sales and customer service, there's a need to provide customers with information on estimated freight cost, estimated delivery dates, tracking information. They also could have a need from internal users to get real-time track and trace information on shipments that are in transit that customers are requesting. Making sure that exportation compliancy is being properly filed and submitted is a critical piece in the supply chain process. Improper handling of compliancy requirements can cause significant delays in getting goods and services to customers, and not to mention the potential fines that can be incurred. Within warehouse processes, there's a need to minimize systematic steps that are performed and reduce the amount of movement steps so products can efficiently be picked, packed, and ready for shipping. Providing for shipping integration for various warehouse processes streamlines the business flow and allows for further efficiencies. Finally, transportation optimization through proper scheduling, planning, and consolidation can reduce freight costs. With a fully integrated shipping platform, you will also achieve better visibility within the supply chain process. Some of the common supply chain challenges that organizations encounter are lack of visibility of shipping information during standard order processing, fulfillment, and customer service, as well as accounting processes. This requires companies to utilize additional systems to gather information, which requires more time and results in a slower response time to their customers. Lack of automation in the shipping process due to efforts to get shipping information into SAP, as well as higher IT costs and operational costs. And that could be due to maintenance of interfaces or third-party systems. Interfaces break, causing IT and operational support to increase the internal costs. Lack of integration and automation of export compliancy processes, as well as customers' inability to provide accurate freight estimates. And finally, the inaccurate labeling and documentation due to the lack of integration into these processes. To achieve proper supply chain process, you need the right tools to make it all work. In comes ShipERP. ShipERP is an SAP certified shipping solution that offers functionality that spans beyond traditional shipping systems. It provides functionality such as shipping for all modes of transportation, whether it's small parcel, less than a truckload, full truckload, rail, or ocean. It has full track and trace capabilities within the standard SAP transactions. This means that within standard SAP delivery transaction, you can get full event tracking as shipments go from origin to destination, as well as proof of delivery. Shipment planning and transportation management functionalities, which include planning, consolidation, load route management, capacity planning, as well as freight cost consolidation, can all be achieved. Freight rating within various standard SAP transactions, as well as at the time of shipment. You have that full functionality. Address validation at a street level, which eliminates address correction fees with the carriers when addresses need to be corrected during shipment. Denied party screening is a compliancy function that validates companies, organizations, and individuals on government watch lists. So the solution will prevent any denied party shipments from going out if it finds a match. AES Direct integration provides for complete integration within SAP to provide electronic export filing without having to leave SAP to make that function happen. Freight auditing provides companies with the ability to audit invoices to the actual shipment activity and provides for a fully integrated approval process and freight payment process. Hazardous material shipments, which includes printing of all compliant documentation and labeling. It also offers sales order integration and gives sales and customer service personnel the visibility to freight information as well as carrier determination and selection at the sales order level. Web portal integration provides companies the ability to see inbound confirmations and tracking from their vendors, as well as provides carrier proof of deliveries for carriers that utilize their portal. Ocean freight management provides functionality for ocean shipments, whether it's shipment scheduling, bookings, tracking, and reporting. We've also taken the packing functionality and combined that with shipping so that you can streamline that process and be able to pack and ship it within one step. And then finally, cartonization and cubic optimization is a new feature that allows companies to fully utilize cartons, containers, and trailers in order to save on freight costs. ShipERP addresses the challenges with native integration to SAP. This eliminates challenges associated with maintaining multiple shipping systems, third-party systems. It reduces the manual process of keying, rekeying information. It's all within one repository. Provides access to shipping information throughout the business, so anybody can get that information as long as they have the authorization to do so. And it simplifies shipping processes, which in turn decreases the labor costs. Some of the key benefits of ShipERP is that it is a native SAP shipping solution for all modes of transportation. There's no black box solution required. Everything is within the SAP system. It is a turnkey solution which provides for a rapid deployment, and it is a highly configurable solution to meet business. You're able to put in your business rules and processes, and the solution will use that information to make decisions on carriers and services. It reduces the freight costs. Uses real-time rate shopping. It also has carrier determination to propose optimal carrier and service, as well as address correction functionality. It's fully integrated to the order-to-cash process for transportation, so it reduces a lot of the costs of operations. The track and trace and proof of delivery functionality is fully integrated into the SAP screens, so you do not have to leave SAP to get that information going to any other carrier sites, and it all can be done real time. And government agencies were fully compliant and integrated. Logistics process improvements is another benefit that it offers, as well as it's a fully certified ABAP add-on which resides in its own namespace within SAP, so it won't have any conflicts with any other types of solutions. Now that we've discussed how ShipERP can help organizations with supply chain challenges, I'd like to introduce Tim Thomas from MCR Safety to discuss his experiences and how ShipERP has helped MCR Safety.
Thanks, Joe, for that introduction, and thanks to everyone for allowing me to speak today on the behalf of MCR Safety and to speak about our company and our relationship with ERPIS and our experiences with ShipERP at MCR Safety. First thing I want to do is kind of tell you the MCR story and kind of give you a little information as it relates to MCR Safety. I'll kind of go over what we do, how we do, and what's the important goal for our company. The first item is we protect people. It is our mantra for over 40 years. We protect, been the industry leader in gloves, garments, and glasses. One of the key points that in this slide is exceptional loyalty. It's something that we're very passionate about throughout our organization. We want to build exceptionally loyal customers, vendors, and employees. We are a wholesale distribution and manufacturing company, privately owned, and as part of that exceptional loyalty, our employee base, 17% of our employees have over 20 years experience, and 32% have over 10 years experience, because we want our employees to be loyal to us as well as loyal to them. We are been in production with SAP since 2003, running SAP 6.0, the modules FD, SD, MM, LE, QM, WM, and PP. MCR Safety and ShipERP. Before ShipERP, our story before ShipERP is that we had a custom web-based interface that we implemented when we first went live with SAP. That interface had a mixture of programming languages. Visual Basic, C, had a mixture of databases, SQL, and Access. All of these elements were mostly maintained by the consulting company that helped us with the initial implementation of SAP. Had custom interfaces to Connect, Ship, and FedEx based off of that web interface. We did have RFC-based interfaces between SAP and the shipping application that we had internal ABAP resources that could maintain. And this application made the business highly dependent on the information system for information. For any reports or anything that they needed, they would have to send requests into the information systems department and for us to do extracts and put that information generally into Excel spreadsheets and pass it back out to whatever business unit was looking at information as it related to shipping. So why did we evaluate ShipERP? As I kind of mentioned in the first slide, the consulting company we used did all the modifications as it related to the interface, Connect, Ship, and FedEx. So we were highly dependent on them for all modifications to the shipping interface and any database modifications. And the modifications were very costly and slow to get executed. Any software update, if we made a change, if Connect, Ship, or FedEx made changes to their software packages, there was a great potential that would break our interface between SAP or the interface between our shipping application. So we invested a good bit of funds into just ensuring with each update of those software packages that the interface still works. So we were not necessarily taking advantage of some of the enhancements. We were just making sure that the software still worked. Some of the breaking points as it relates to the relationship was the consulting company we were using was acquired by a larger organization, and we had developed a very close relationship with some of the resources we were using at the smaller consulting firm. A lot of those resources got reallocated, so we kind of lost that relationship. We lost that loyalty between the company we were using for our shipping application. We desired to be more self-sufficient. So we went through, we had great demand, which I'm sure the question that everyone gets from the business, how do we make this better? Our business has identified multiple enhancements and modifications and updates they wanted to take advantage of as related to the shipping application. So we did our due diligence, provided a proposal back to the consulting firm and what it would take to take our existing interface to that level. The estimate we came back ranged from a high level from 75 to 100K, which gave us pause to say we really need to take a step back and do an overall evaluation of how we're performing. And that's kind of how we met down the path of looking at ShipERP. How did we approach our analysis and what were our requirements? We had a very good relationship with FedEx. We had a relationship with FedEx and UPS both, even before SAP, where we had built proprietary interfaces to their software products. So from reaching out to them to discussing what were the plans that what was FedEx and UPS moving in the future, everyone gave us the same result back, web services. So we knew it was a high priority for us that the replacement application take advantage of web services. Our business was passionate about it being a SAP GUI interface. The experience they had with the web interface that had turned sour, and they really wanted to have a single interface for the users that were out in our operation and our shipping department, that they didn't have to transition between interfaces. So the approach we took is that we evaluated SAP standard processing, including SAP LE shipment, logistics execution shipping processing. We felt like it did solve some of the problems, but it was big gaps in what we saw in standard SAP processing. So we took a step back and said, we're going to take the approach of put an application development approach to it. We looked at what would it take to develop from scratch exactly what we wanted. And we went through that process using elements of SAP standard processing in the background, but coming up with custom interfaces. And after we finished that process, we reached out to a consulting partner that we had used before for ABAP development and asked them to give us a high-level proposal of what it took. And they did provide that proposal, but they also sent us down to the path to have a contact with ERP solution. And that's exactly how our first approach to the project started. We compared what we had defined as a custom approach versus what ShipERP was offering as a standard solution. How do we decide on ShipERP? Again, we compared our custom requirements to ShipERP, and we also did our due diligence by evaluating other products. We reviewed about 4 products and narrowed the list down to ShipERP, a competing product, and sticking with our current shipping application and just invested the dollars into upgrading. But after doing the full analysis, we saw that ShipERP satisfied our major requirements. They were going to give us that SAP GUI interface. They were going to consume web services, and it was an SAP certified solution. Another big element that affected our decision was site fees. Our other partners had very high site fees for every additional site we rolled out. We were able to package an enterprise license from ERPIS that actually reduced the cost when we looked over a long-term return on investment as we had planned to roll out additional sites. The majority of the software was written in SAP, ABAP, which was great for us because we had a staff of developers who knew the language, knew how to debug it, knew how to analyze it, knew how to make modifications. And back to that loyalty and relationships, we felt more comfortable with the partnership with ERPIS than the other partners we evaluated, which was very important to us as a company. The ability to take this out and roll it out in phases versus a big bang approach was another important element as it relates to it. Our initial goal was to take a big bang approach, but as a lot of you probably face in your organizations, priorities changed very quickly. So how did we roll out ShipERP? We took a phased approach to ShipERP. Like I mentioned in the previous slide, our intention was to do one big bang approach and roll out sales order processing, parcel processing, and LTL all at one time. But due to other business requirements, this project got phased and spread out over a three-phase approach. The first phase we rolled out was sales order processing. It went live in December of 2011. It gave us the ability to do carrier determination at a shipping point level. Our previous system only allowed a single carrier per order. Rules-based carrier selection. We had some very unique KPIs that we put into carrier selection related to service, related to pickup times, and things related to that, or contracts, assuming that we gave a certain carrier a certain amount of volume to make sure we maintained the discount we had, and we wanted to be able to interject that in there. And by having it in SAP, made it much easier for us to be able to define that and put those rules in place. Rate shopping at sales order entry. This had been something that we actually lost when we moved from our previous system to SAP. We now had the ability right within the sales order to do rate shopping, see what the transit times, what shipments were, and for a customer who might be shipping something collect where they're going to be paying the freight, they even had the opportunity to shop our rates versus their rates and make a determination which was the best way to go, where we might had a better rate level with that carrier, so it became to be viewed as a service to our external customer. Address validation, which was a big return on investment that I'll speak about later on later slides. Carrier selection criteria at sales order and delivery processing. We had some flexibility within the sales order that our customer service could pick proposed carriers, but at delivery creation, our traffic department had more defined rules that would prevent a certain carrier from being selected, and they really liked the ability that they had the ability to propose a carrier, but the carrier rules at delivery processing overrode anything that a salesperson or a customer service person proposed in order entry. The second phase was parcel processing. A big element of our old system, or one of the drawbacks, is that everything was shipped at a delivery level. ShipERP allowed us to go to shipping at a handling unit level. This allowed us to correlate a single tracking number to a box and be able to do tracking at a more specific level. If a customer called in and said, hey, I didn't get one of my boxes, we could immediately go and look at tracking and see which one we had received tracking information that was delivered and not delivered right in SAP without having to go out to any of the parcel carriers' website. The interface, the web service interface to FedEx, UPS, DHL, and Purolator were great, and it made it a much simple training process within customer service, because now they didn't have to know how to go to each one of these individual websites. They just, all the information is at their fingertips within SAP. Business logic. Because this was a standard SAP application, ERPIS provided user exits just like SAP provided. So we could interject business logic or specific rules that might apply to one customer and not another customer in the shipping application. It was a big win. Our operations department really loved that because it kind of takes some of the onus on some of the things they have to remember to do by customer. We could inject that business logic right into the processing. Kind of spoke with the integration to the tracking of packages at a tracking level and PODs. Our traffic department constantly throughout the day would get calls from customer service asking for requests for proof of deliveries. With this application, they can pull, our customer service department could retrieve the information right there within SAP, within the delivery and sales order, and they relieve that requirement off our traffic department. And finally, the final phase was LTL and truckload processing, which went live in May of 2013. The trailer processing was big for us. Our old system did not allow us to see what all was grouped together and went out on one trailer versus another trailer. That was very big for us to be able to do that and know that these items were loaded on trailer 1 for this carrier versus trailer 2, and when that trailer departed our facilities. Delivery consolidation. It also offered us the ability to take 2 deliveries that were shipped within the same day, going to the same place, it would consolidate those two deliveries on one shipment. That gave us the benefit of any rating savings of weighing that from the total weight of everything going to one location versus looking at each delivery individually. Electronic signature capture, LTL driver that's coming in to sign for the bills of lading instead of having to sit there and sign 20 individual, maybe multi-part form bills of lading, could apply one signature, print out all the bills of lading on a laser printer, and he's out the door and a big time savings. Gave us the ability to make modifications to labels and bills of lading. We decided to go with custom labels and bills of lading instead of using the ERPIS ones because we had different information that different carriers wanted, or we wanted to provide different label information. But again, our resources could make those modifications, and just like any other output in SAP, we could control what was being printed. The ability for our traffic department to manage the carrier, to manage fuel surcharge, discounts, and minimums. Before, all of that had been funneled through the information system department. Now we were able to empower that department to go out and maintain it on its own. And the ability to do both pre-assigned and manually assigned pro numbers was a big positive for our operations department. And next, I'll give you a few screenshots kind of showing the integration ShipERP has within the sales order. This is an example of within the sales order, if you're looking at a carrier for a particular shipping point where you can do a shop estimated rates, and it brings back all the different rates for that particular carrier, as well as the transit times when they've been able to deliver. And we even found that our customers were so positive about this that we might have a customer come in and say, hey, I need to get this next day. Can you, or 2 day, can you ship this 2 day? I really need to get it. But by looking at this screen, we could inform them back, hey, you don't need to ship it 2 day. You can do ground. Both of them have 2 day delivery points. So we just saved that customer extra money in that particular situation because FedEx is guaranteed they're going to get it there 2 days, whether you ship it 2 day air or you ship it just regular ground. So big positive and the ability to compare across carriers, especially for those smaller customers who's really evaluating and taking a close look at what they're doing from a freight perspective. Parcel shipping. Again, the parcel shipping process was so simple for my manifest operators that it opportunity where they didn't even have to touch the system within ShipERP. We set the system up where you put the box with the handling unit on the scale, you scan the barcode, it automatically populates the screen. We had a barcode for F8 function key. They scan the barcode to execute the transaction. The label prints out. They put it on the box. They slide the next one down. So it became almost a totally hands-free process for our manifest operators, which we're very excited. One of our more senior manifest operators who have been here over 30 years described the system as lightning. That's exactly how much he loved how the system performed for us. And then LTL shipping. Again, you can see the ability here that now you can put multiple items within a trailer, so you can see what's on that trailer. You could conform from the digital signature. And at this point in time, we're only using LTL and truckload processing, but over the long term, we might go back and revisit some of the things we do from rail and ocean processing as it relates to it. But it's great flexibility. Again, a very simple interface that you put the delivery in, the delivery consolidates it down onto a shipment, and you can decide to automatically load that onto a trailer or not automatically load it. But it's, again, a very clean interface right within SAP. Summary and takeaways. I think from our standpoint, one of the most important things is that ERPIS was a partner in the process. They listened. They allowed us to have a lot of input into the roadmap of the product, especially some of the sales order processing and LTL and truckload processing. In their future releases, they definitely were listening to the user community to see what we were seeing as trends in our business and what we wanted to see going forward. Very easy to apply updates and patches because it's just like SAP's OSS or support pack processing. You got the note, you applied it just like everything else. Our basis department was very familiar with it, as well as our developers. It was an SAP-based shipping application. The look and feel of it was just like using any other transaction within SAP. Our Big Bang Theory turned into a phased approach. Probably the same in your department. We had two major projects get squeezed in between those two projects. A joint venture and an acquisition of another company gets squeezed in there. And ERPIS was very flexible to allow us to stretch the project out. And if you want something to sell to your leadership, MCR saved $30,000 a year in residential and address correction fees. That was a big win and made it easy to justify the ROI to our executives' leadership for the cost of investing into ERPIS. Great for the information systems department. It empowered our traffic department to manage LTL carriers and kind of got information system out of as being the middleman and the updates for those elements that affect LTL processing. Reporting. It relieved the demand on IS to do the reporting because all these were ERPIS tables. If we had customer reports, we could modify them to consume the ERPIS, or ERPIS came with ShipERP came with a subset of reports that we were able to leverage, just base reports right out of the box. So that was great. Customer service. ERPIS, ShipERP turned into a customer service tool. Real-time parcel and tracking information right there within SAP, not having to go out to a website. PLD processing. Some of the freight carrier determination selection elements, our customer really looked at that as a partnership because we were looking out for them and trying to tell them, here's what the situations where we can save you money from a freight perspective, either by using our freight rates or because we're telling you, even though you need this quicker, his might be a better method or better carrier. FedEx can get there in 2 days. UPS can get there in 1 day. Being able to point those things out as a customer service tool. And then lastly, we did experience some more cost savings with the consolidation of multiple deliveries into one shipment. Now we're rating that as one weight for two shipments versus breaking those out individually and having to pay a high freight clip on that. Next steps and future state. We're constantly evolving with ShipERP. We have constantly, as each patches came out, taking advantage of it, giving our input back to ERPIS on what we would like to see within the product. And again, they listen, which was very important. We're working on a project right now that has started going live where we're implementing a web service for all LTL processing. This will allow us to have a single point of contact for all LTL carriers. And the partner we're using will establish the relationship, EDI, or electronic relationship with each one of our individual LTL carriers. So we'll be able to make one call for rating, one call for shipping, send the bill of lading to one partner, receive invoices back from that partner, get all statuses back from that partner. So that is one of the projects we're working on and have just rolled out the first carrier on that project here in the last couple of weeks. FedEx IDP processing, which is another service that FedEx is offering that they've just integrated into their web service library. We're working with ERPIS on getting that integrated into our instance of ShipERP. We want to do some enhanced freight carrier and small parcel performance auditing and just overall invoice auditing. We want to be able to do some what-if scenarios. What happens if we go from carrier A to carrier B and the discount changes from this to that? What is it going to be the overall effect on our processing going to certain areas? So we've had some very high-level conversations on what ShipERP freight auditing product comes with and what we would like to see enhanced in it. Carrier determination by line. We have multiple situations where we might be shipping 5 products to a customer. They need 4 very quickly, and the other one that can wait. So they want to ship these 4 products next day, and then when they ship the one product, just standard ground or LTL, we want to be able to compensate that on a single order and not have to split that into 2 different orders to compensate for it today. And it's ways to do it, but we want for that to be integrated within ShipERP. And lastly, some of our documents that we create for outbound international shipments, we're using another secondary system to produce those documents. So we're going to be working with ERPIS to integrate that back into SAP to, again, to have a single source of all that information coming back out. And that'll be another big win. The key is ERPIS is listening, and they're continually adding great features and functions to the product. that concludes my case study and my presentation. I want to say thank you to everyone, and I'm turning it back over to Stan.
Okay. Tim, thank you very much for sharing your story of how you were able to implement ShipERP and streamline your transportation processes, and telling us about how you were able to reduce your freight spend through deploying this solution. So why partner with Intelligence and ERP integrated solutions? Well, we are proven industry leaders in both SAP Transition Management and SAP Shipping Solutions. Our team of solution leaders, as well as our consultants, have vast knowledge in transportation, logistics, and SAP products. Because of our companies creating our own proprietary solutions, we have extensive investment in research and development to create these solutions, to create these SAP certified shipping platforms and solutions for the various industries that we serve. Our companies are focused 100% on SAP customers, so we create products that integrate directly with SAP, and we have close-knit relationships and ties to SAP. We are compliant with transportation partners as well as SAP. Deploying SAP and TM will be implemented by a best-in-class services team with years of experience in both IT, supply chain, and order-to-cash processes. We deploy the right configuration for your business process and your industry, and we're able to provide a rapid return on investment by creating our own turnkey package solutions to accelerate that deployment and also provide quick return on investment. We have a long track record of proven success with strong references across the world, and we provide 24/7 global support that you can trust. I'd like to thank our partner and co-sponsor, Cisco Systems. Cisco is the SAP infrastructure partner providing hardware and connectivity with SAP customers. There are over 3,600 SAP customers running on infrastructure today. You can see these statistics gathered by independent consulting firm IDC about customers have realized tremendous return on investment from Cisco's unique products. Cisco is also a certified SAP HANA technology provider, so as you're planning your eventual migration to HANA, Cisco is a great option. At this point, I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on our webinar, and I will hand it back over to Steve to open up our Q&A session.
Okay, well, thanks very much. Excellent presentation, gentlemen. Before we go on to our audience Q&A, though, we'd like to ask if you could please fill out a feedback form survey that is going to open on your desktop. To complete this form, please press the Submit Answer button at the bottom of the page. We want to thank you in advance for filling out this form. Your participation in our survey allows us to serve you better in the future. And now on to the question and answer portion of our event. As a reminder, to participate in the Q&A, just type your question into the text box located below the media player and then click the Submit Question button. And let's see, we can take our first question. Alrighty, and I think the first question here is for Joe, and it's from Mike. Does ShipERP have carrier integration built in?
Yes, ShipERP integrates with all major carriers such as UPS, FedEx, DHL, U.S. Postal Service, YRC, ABF, and TNT, just to name a few. But in total, we integrate with over 200 carriers across the various modes of transportation.
Okay, thank you. And another question for you, Joe, from Sean. We have a large volume of parcel shipments that need to get out the door the last several days of the month. What's your average response time from carrier shipment creation to label printing?
With ShipERP, the solution can handle some high volume shipping and has been benchmarked with an average speed of probably about 1.5 seconds per transaction, which includes creation of the carrier shipment and the printed label. At this time, maybe Tim can comment on the average shipments and performance that he's seen during his use of ShipERP.
Sure, Joe. From the parcel standpoint, we process anywhere from about 13,500 to 14,500 parcel shipments a month. It works out to about 650 to 700 a day. Again, as I kind of described in the presentation, performance is very close to a benchmark. I mean, you might have some variations based on just your local network and speed related to that, but we do not have any problems processing that. And the bulk of our processing from a small parcel standpoint occurs from about 2 o'clock to 5:30. So even though we might ship, 700 packages, I would guess that 500 are within the last 4 or 5 hours of the day when our operations is at its high peak. Also, we process about 110 to 130 LTL shipments a day, and also through ShipERP process about 1,400 to 1,500 pickup orders per month that we're processing through. Even we have a local partner picking up, or have a larger customer that might be sending out a truck to pick up products.
Okay, thank you. And I see one more question here for Joe from Gina. How easy would it be for customer service representatives or planners to manually change service levels? For example, FedEx Ground to FedEx 2-day, or even to UPS 2-day?
Yeah, it's real easy. As ShipERP has the capability to allow customers to make mode, carrier, and service changes as early as at the sales order and delivery level. This is accomplished due to our native integration within the SAP transactions. Through the ShipERP interface, customers can make same mode, carrier, and service changes at the time of shipment execution as well. So this lends itself to an easy screen navigation and simple change process capabilities.
Okay. Well